Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Thursday night!
I, of course, am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the prolific comedy himself, Zealeus.
Why am I here on a Thursday night again?
Because it's time to give the world what they want.
What, pray tell, does the world want or need?
An amazing internet show that starts briefly around sort of 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
I thought that you were going to say that they need some Mountain Dew.
Oh, yes. One must do the do in order to attain that certain enlightenedness.
So, the audience has a dying question for you.
What is it?
What kind of Mountain Dew do you drink every night?
I drink Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew, and Diet Mountain Dew Code Red.
So, you're on a diet of Mountain Dew. I approve.
Sort of.
There's nothing wrong with being on a Mountain Dew diet. You're only, drinking a pound of sugar a night.
The funny thing is, I don't like the canned regular Mountain Dew and Code Red, but I like the liters.
Well, the metal definitely does affect the taste.
Indeed.
And I'm the other way around. I only like the actual canned Code Reds. I'm not a big fan of the 2 liters of pretty much anything, to be honest.
All right. Let's get into the show.
I've been into the show for the last 3 minutes. Where have you been, sir?
Dude, I've been in the show for the past 6 hours. So, sir, let's move it.
Wow, this is one long show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Say what?
White kid in the house.
White kid. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on to the first show. And the first topic of the night is going to be the Doctor class. Now, this was revealed just a little bit ago, and that, of course, is that the Doctor, of course, we're talking about Mr. Doctor Who himself, which actually wouldn't be a Mr.
Doctor
If you
Who?
just Doctor Who.
Doctor Who?
Who?
Who's Doctor Who?
And who said that? Too late. The Daleks. Okay, moving on.
Oh, yes. I should.
Anyways, why are you?
Because you moved the camera.
Jeez almighty.
My
people.
leg doesn't fit that way.
Yes, it does.
I'm straddling this.
Then don't straddle it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what he's doing, but anyways,
I've
let's
done
move on to the
every
next thing.
podcast since the first
All
one
right,
ever
kids.
started.
So there's a new spin-off of the Doctor, and it of course is called Class. Basically, from my understanding, if you've ever watched Doctor Who, and spoiler alert,
Spoilers. There's a doctor named Who.
I know. There was a season in which Clara, who was now the previous
Companion.
your brother needs to be in the room. If he does a chat, then we'll give him a shout out.
What kid? If we give your brother a shout out, will he allow you to put a bucket of ice down his shirt with it tucked in?
Okay, Tiger, let's just get on to our show.
That actually means something to Watch.
All right, so here we go. Anyways, so there's a spinoff of Doctor Who, and for those out there who may not be keeping up with the new Doctor Who, because a lot of people call it the new Doctor Who.
New Who.
When it came back.
New Who,
So
not
there
the new
was
Doctor Who.
there was a companion named Clara, and Clara was in love with a guy named Pink. That's the last name, not the first name. And they were at a school. Well, it turns out that potentially, perhaps, that the school that she was teaching at, who then she left to go travel with the Doctor,
Of course.
is now the school for the new series, The Class.
What?
And so basically, well, let's just show the trailer, and then we can chit-chat about it in a second.
Let us show a trailer about Doctor Who.
Indeed.
Are you ready to have your ears blown?
My mind blown, not my ears blown. Cohill Academy.
Dun, 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 dun.
I can travel through space and I can travel through time, but I can't always be there when you need me. Sometimes you have to take survival upon yourselves. What will you do when the shadows come? And you can't turn away from the darkness ahead? For time has looked at your faces. And time never forgets.
That's a scary face.
All right, that was it.
No more trailers.
Well, I mean, you could go to the next one if you wanted to. But
Too, sorry. There we go.
anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is a little bit of a... So basically, here's the deal. You have all these students who are going to protect the Earth, or basically anything that happens around the school, because of course, there's like a weird time rift dimensional thing that's happening there. Of course, the students are going to save it. Real quick, what's up, Mr. David Trent? Or as I should say, Tyrannosaurus Rex 1. Anyways, so I'm excited. I have to say, basically, any flavor of the Doctor I can get that basically kind of like supplements my love and addiction to Doctor Who, I like. So Torchwood, totally on board until it went to Stars. Then it got kind of weird.
I loved it when it went to Stars. I love the weird craziness.
I was like, no, damn it. Okay, you could solve this whole damn thing in an hour. Why are you dragging it out for 10?
Okay, let's be fair about that. Like, okay, take for instance, I'm going off total tangent here.
Go.
Take for instance any show that has to do with basically any drama that has to do with love. We're like recently watching Arrow, the next season. Every single damn love issue revolves around one thing. I must keep this secret from her to keep her safe.
Okay.
Because if she finds out, then she will be in perilous danger. And of course, in every show, not just Arrow, every show, guess what happens 4 episodes later?
Perilous danger.
She finds out anyways, and they break up because she kept the secret.
Well, here's
really obnoxious.
No, look, here's my biggest issue with Torchwood, is that yes, you've got an overarching theme for 8-10 episodes, right?
Okay.
Yet you murdered off like 3/4 of the cast when you made the
This
move
is
over to
true.
Stars. So it's literally like 2 people who have to carry the fucking load for the gosh darn show the entire season
But see, the thing is like
for the same story.
I disagree though, because I think the supporting cast, when you got to the ones on Stars, I actually prefer to the original cast when it was doing the BBC. So I
All right,
actually
get off the show right now. No. You're gone. Owen needs to be there. Yannick needs to be there, and get your ass back down. Come on,
Are you being bipolar? Man?
get your ass. Yeah.
Make up your damn mind.
All right. First of all, yes, I am bipolar, so screw you. Anyways, the thing is that there was never going to be. The thing is, there's no chemistry. It's just strict. Let's do this because what's her face is never going to get with Harkness because Harkness is going the other way.
Yeah.
But you had a love interest there, and then you went, oh, he died for his love. That's so sweet. But then there's nothing. There's nothing.
I don't need the love interest. And they did have a love interest in the sequels and Stars anyways. It may not have involved Captain Jack, but there's definitely love interest going on some of the other peripheral characters, which gave one
I
of my
didn't give a shit about the peripheral characters. Every single peripheral character in every single freaking show can have a love interest.
See, and
That's fine. I want the main characters to have some emotions besides, I'm going through the steps of doing something for 10 hours.
But I think that's maybe why I found it interesting, because you didn't have the main characters wrapped up in a love story, because every show does it. So something a little bit different. I don't
You mean boring? Bland?
I really
Annoying?
I really like the Stars.
I hated it. I felt like there was just I loved the fact that Torchwood got to have like a second life, but dear God, it was like it's basically like, and I'm sorry for this analogy, but it's basically taking like a virile, like alpha male, highly potent animal and then cutting off its nuts. That's how Torchwood on Stars felt to me.
I think we're gonna just disagree on this.
Okay, fine. Moving on to the next topic, ladies and gentlemen.
We're going to come to a coming round.
Let's move on to the next topic, okay? Shall we? The next one is
Let's go with the Caravan one.
Yeah, let's do it. Caravan.
There we go.
Now we did talk about this a little bit ago, and that of course was Data Link Entertainment, which of course is a company that we're very fond of. Who's made a lot of good games, Deponia, Blackguard, all that kind of stuff. They've come out with a new game called Caravan. Caravan basically takes these 3 components and mixes it together: strategy, trading, and RPG.
Ooh.
You basically go from point to point and try to make try to do strategic trading and all that stuff, and then upgrade your caravan.
So basically, buy low, sell high.
Basically, it's wizards and wagons.
Oh yeah,
but
that's what it sounded like.
but basically set in the Orient, which I'm not exactly sure what the Orient is, because that's like kind of vague.
Are there ninjas?
No.
I'm totally stereotyping.
No, there's like camels and stuff.
Is there a spice trade?
I don't know. Well, let's
There's
watch the
camels in
trailer real
Orient? I
quick,
didn't
and then actually this trailer's not going to really reveal all that much, but let's just watch the trailer to give y'all just a little taste of Caravan.
And play.
In an ancient Arabian world of jinns and demons, you'll find yourself stranded in the middle of a desert. You must lead your caravan through the desert, but agonized by thirst, you know you won't last for long without fresh water.
Is that for anybody?
Trade with merchants.
Do you have to trade for water?
Complete quests along the way, and fight your way through the wild desert. But plan your trips carefully and choose your companions wisely. As thirst isn't the only danger threatening your journey. Are you ready for your greatest Arabian adventure?
Interesting.
Now, of course, this has been released. It was released at the end of last month. This is absolutely 100% available for your consumption. And if I remember right, I think I put the price down here. I think. Maybe I didn't.
Did you?
Yeah, $14.99. You can get on Steam and you can get on GOG, and it is available for PC, Linux, and Mac. Which is kind of weird. You know, why are we still having this, like, you know, like tete-a-tete between it's on Steam, it's on GOG. Why are we still battling with, okay, well, it's on Steam, but if you're on Mac, you're SOL. It's only in the PC. I mean, shouldn't there be like some kind of like initiative to make it available to all the platforms that Steam is on?
Well, the question is, as the developer, is it monetarily worth it to also port your game to the Mac at this point? Because
how much would it? The thing is, how much would it cost them to port? Because let's be honest, the more, if you can on a cheap scale, but with quality, if you could put your game on as many platforms as possible, then you fucking do it. Because you want to make money, and this is the kind of thing where you've got the hot button item for like a couple days, and then it's gone.
Well, the reality is the Mac is still, and I don't see it happening anytime soon, a gaming platform. It's like if you want a game and you're an Apple fan, it's going to be probably on your iOS device and not the Mac. That's not, even Apple's emphasis is certainly not on gaming on the Mac. I mean, you look at any of the hardware that comes out, and anything that has a decent graphics card. Now, granted, Caravan doesn't look like a game that requires crazy graphics, but any game that requires decent graphics cards, that's going to be hard to do on the Mac because those get freaking expensive to have a decent GPU on the Mac. So, as far as I heard what you're saying, and there are more games slowly coming out for the Mac than there used to be. I just don't see there being a time, anytime in the immediate future, where all games are going to be released parallel, side by side, Mac and PC, because the Mac just isn't a gaming platform quite yet.
That. Just make the same SDK across the platform to put it on Steam. No, that wouldn't work because then they would immediately go to GOG because GOG you just literally on there. But
so what you're saying is just make it all in Java. Problem solved.
God, no. You want to find the quickest way to crash a machine? Make everything in Java.
Well, why do you think iOS doesn't have Java? Which I'm fully a fan of, don't get me wrong. I wish we did have Java. It would make everybody's life so much easier.
Well, the thing is, there are some bonuses and you know, there's some good stuff with Java. Unfortunately, it's always a memory hog, and there's always some weird ass memory leak that if you were to stream something in Java long enough, you'll crash your system.
Well, like for instance, I do robotics at school, and it's based on the Java platform because we use Android. In that case, using Java is fantastic because Windows, Mac, Linux, it doesn't matter what people are doing. Anytime you're programming, it's going to be identical no matter what you're working on. So
there are certain things that you have to kind of tweak depending on the platform.
The SDK for the robotics program, you can use it on any program. I've tried it on all three operating systems, no problem.
Right, but you're talking strictly the latest OS X. You're talking probably the mainstream Linux and the latest Windows, right?
Windows 7 through Windows 10 and Mac OS, pretty much any version that supports Java, really.
Okay.
I'm just telling you my experience with it. I don't know.
I'm just telling you my experience with it.
All right.
Boom! Nightmare Before Christmas.
Pound!
Ninrek, I've got a friend who is like beyond creeped out about anything that's like in that Nightmare Before Christmas kind of like art style. Like, he has nightmares about it. It's not, I mean, yes, there is a spooky movie. You got the Boogeyman is just really scary as shit. But, however, that Tim Burton art style, it scares the crap out of him. Just seeing it gives him nightmares.
It's just kind of like clowns.
Yeah, it's kind of like
some people
clowns.
are just petrified of clowns.
And that's why you have all these crazy-ass clowns. But that's, another topic for another day, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on to the next one. And that, of course, is...
Whoa.
What?
Does Caravan interest you?
Okay, Caravan is a very interesting game. However, it immediately makes me keep going back to Wizards and Wagons.
That's what it looks like.
So my issue is, and I had a huge issue with Wizards and Wagons, is how do they, how does the trade work? How the distribution, all that stuff. So I would definitely at this high level, I couldn't tell you if I like it or not. I would actually have to dive into it for me to actually, really figure out something, because this is the type of situation where it might look awesome, but when you actually get into the nuts and bolts of it, it's an absolute mess.
Or is it one of those games? Because it seems like some of these games with like the economics part, where it's like there's basically one way to win. Like, you have to do this certain thing with this item to basically buy and sell it. Otherwise, you're going to not be able to make a profit type of deal, too.
No, well, okay, so here's the spoiler alert for anyone who's playing Wizards and Wagons. I don't know how long ago it was out, but if you really want to make a humongous fortune in that game, never leave the first island. Never leave it. I don't care about all the ones that open up. Never leave that first island. Just continue to do penny and dime every single freaking place, back and forth on that main island, and you'll become a bajillionaire. Because it's that flawed. As soon as you get off that island, the monsters get harder, and yeah, sure, you get some extra, crafts or trade goods or whatever, but it's not worth it. It's absolutely 100% not worth it. So, anyways,
I take your word for it.
I'll be very interested to see. I mean, if I can get my hands on Caravan, I would love to take it for a spin, but I'm not going to try. I personally will not go out and actively try to buy it. Let's just put it that way.
And I'm terrible at any kind of economy games. Like especially a lot of people, for instance, MMOs, they love to play the auction house because you can make a whole lot of money in MMOs playing it. And I was one of those people who was terrible at it. I'm like, you know what? I really don't care. I'm just going to pay more gold than I probably should for this item off the auction house because I'm too lazy to really play the auction house. I'm an impulse buyer when it comes to online games.
The thing is so one of the other components really quick about Wizards and Wagons is that you have a set limit and size of a grid that you have to move your trade goods into. And so you also have to have that in effect. So just grab a bunch of stuff that is going to give you, I don't know, you grab like 10 of something, and then you just you sell it for a 3 coin difference. Well, that's 30 extra coin that you just made instead of getting, I don't know, whatever. It's a flawed system. Let's just put it that way. Okay, on to the next story. This time we're going to go with fine. So this game is called Necropolis. Necropolis is a game that's been created by Harebrained Schemes. This
sounds like a rock band.
This company's been working on this game for a while. This game is available for the PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. It is a roguelike dungeon delver, which I guess is the new term for dungeon crawler. I love when they try to come up with new terminology, what was it? Microtransactions. Now they're in-app purchases. They're trying to make it like not the same, but
Give it a new name so it doesn't sound as bad.
Exactly.
Probably they hired some marketing PR. Be like, how can we change the name of this so it doesn't sound too sketchy?
Well, okay, so dungeon crawler, dungeon dweller. That's not. Or sorry, dungeon delver. It's not. I guess they're just trying to go for like a unique spin, but it is the same damn thing. I mean, let's be honest with you. All right, so we're going to show you a quick trailer. It probably won't show you as much love as it needs to, but this is a game that you can play solo or you can play with 3 of your friends, so you could have a 4-person adventure. You're going to die a lot, and of course, when you die, you basically gain a lot of stuff that you collected over there, and then, of course, you increase, you up-level, upgrade, all that stuff. So let's show you the trailer real quick.
Hello. Hi, looks. Ooh. So far, so good. There's only skeletons. I don't know.
And dead.
Whoops.
And dead.
Hey, it's a different character. It's your team. Looks like rookies. Bad potion?
Drink too fast.
Diabolical Dungeon Dive. November 2016 on Steam. And other stuff.
Okay, so, and Craig's right. Once a particular phrase gets some sort of bad press, they come up with a new phrase, same shit, different day. Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely correct. I do like the graphic style. It was very interesting when I read that entire press review. They really didn't go into are there different character types. It just looked like maybe you can make your character look different, and maybe through your game playing, it kind of evolves what your character does.
Well, they definitely look different in the trailer, so there's obviously something going on with how they look.
Yeah. Angelus, yes, hooray for a dungeon delver. That kills you all the time. Right. Okay, this is a term that Zealeus and I, it makes us cringe ever so slightly because no one really understands the definition of roguelike.
What is
anymore.
roguelike anymore?
Exactly. Well, it's like a random thing about dungeons and...
If you die, stuff happens. Basically, if you don't die and you don't just resurrect where you are, it's now known
as roguelike.
Yeah.
We remade the dungeons. We made them different.
It's now roguelike.
Yeah.
You started at the beginning of the level. It's roguelike. Yeah.
Whatever.
It's one of those things that just gets used a lot now because let's go old school and be roguelike.
All right, so Zealeus, what did you think about the trailer we saw?
It was interesting. It looked like, as far as the combat goes, it to me looks like something, especially the graphics, that could get kind of repetitive to me. That's just the impression I got off the trailer. They're basically doing the same kind of hacking and slashing with that kind of, over-the-shoulder view over and over and over.
Yes, a third-person game.
Yeah, that's just kind of the impression I got. Is repetitiveness? I'm probably wrong. Because
let's be honest. With the repetitiveness, roguelike screams repetitive.
Sure.
With you're going to face the same creatures, and you're probably going to have the same result, but it's going to be in like a completely different configuration of areas.
Yeah. I saw it looked like everything was up front and face combat, melee combat. I didn't see like any ranged with bows and arrows. I didn't see any magic. And most of these kind of dungeon games, you have different classes that can do different things. So I was kind of curious, are there different classes in this game, or is it all just melee? Because that's all I saw was melee.
Right, and I don't know. In the press release that I saw, they didn't really delve into the class structure. It's literally you and 3 of your friends could play in this game where you're going to die over and over again. You can upgrade all your stuff. I'm like, okay.
So then you don't die as much, hopefully, right?
Yeah.
You can go further and further every time.
Yeah, exactly. You were speaking of another game that you die and die over again, but I don't think anything ever comes of it. There's a game out there. I don't even know. It was a Kickstarter game like a long time ago, which, of course, a long time ago could have been like, I don't know, 3 years ago. It's called Delver Drop. I don't even know if it officially finally came out. I Kickstarted like, I don't know how long ago.
Long time ago.
But it definitely, let's see, Zealeus is looking up for me real quick here. I don't think it's actually still out. Let's see here. It's still pre-orders.
You can pre-order.
It's a fast physics-based action, blah, blah, blah.
How long have you been able to pre-order this game?
Huh?
How long have you been able to pre-order?
No, I Kickstarted it.
Oh, so now you've gone from Kickstarting to be able to pre-order.
Craig wants to change his name to Rogue like Craig. Hey, man, whatever floats your boat, sir. But yeah, once again, I think we're just maybe just for me, I'm at the point where I need to actually get my hands on the game for me to really figure it out. It looks cool, and most of you know that I'm more of a single player than a party player.
So Funny fact about Devil's Drop is you can pre-order now, but the release date was 2013.
Yeah.
So I don't think they've updated their website in a while. Going on a limb here.
Probably not. But anyways, so there you go, Necropolis. Definitely interesting to see that it is on 3 different platforms, which is pretty dang impressive.
Did that include the Mac platform?
They did not specify. They said Steam, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One.
Interesting.
So if I can, hold on, let me see if I can pull it up real quick here. Where's my search bar? Okay.
So just for example, with gaming on the Mac, is I have a very mainstream MacBook Air from work, and if you buy, it's still very comparable specs to what you'd buy at an Apple store now for a MacBook Air, and that's probably what most people are going to buy if they're going to buy Apple nowadays. I played Spryke Wood on it last summer, and Spryke Wood isn't exactly the most graphically intensive game in the world. Holy crap, it felt like my laptop was a flaming fireball after about a half hour of play. Just to kind of give you an example of the Mac's lack of gaming prowess. So I wonder if that kind of maybe scares away some of the developers, is that knowledge. I'm just kind of spitballing. So, yes.
Roguelike Craig lives on 3 different platforms. One made of straw, one made of wood, one made of brick. I like it.
So instead of playing rock, paper, scissors, we play straw, wood, brick, and see which one of those lives today.
It's going to be brick, dude. Anyways, real quick, Necropolis is available through Steam. It's available on the PC and the Mac. So there you go.
There you go. Thank you for the clarification.
All right.
What about Linux? It's year of the Linux, man.
Negative, sir. Negative. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. The next topic is... Crap! I'm broke!
Story of our lives, bro!
Out-of-pocket edition. Now, this game, of course, is something that is basically near and dear, or maybe feared, close to our hearts, and that, of course, is you are out of a job, or perhaps your job doesn't give you enough money. In this game, you're basically going to be trying to find all the help wanted signs and then taking on the challenges, which, of course, are mini games as you continue to go. The money that you gain through those activities will go towards paying your rent or feeding you. Now, of course, if you don't make enough money to pay your rent, you get evicted. Game over. If you forget to feed yourself, you die. Game over.
So if you get evicted, you automatically die?
Apparently so.
That's a very perilous...
So let's move on. So let's show you the trailer real quick. It's a very quick trailer, so here we go. Crap, I'm broke. Out-of-pocket edition.
Oops, I'm wrong one. Sorry.
Hey now.
I like the wrong one. There we go. Worst eviction ever. Okay. Right then. Arcane Circus. Oh no, you got evicted. Or you got the eviction notice. You're actually evicted yet.
Apparently you're roasting your teeth. There you are.
I'm trying to find a job. $0. Hey, there's something wrong with having $0 in your bank account.
New job. Diner.
Wow. I wish I got paid by the burger I flipped. I'd be much more efficient. Dun, 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 dun,
Grandma.
Micro game unlocked.
Bro fisting.
That is some bitty graphics. You made it through a month without dying. Good job. I hate it when I go broke.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Crap, I'm broke.
Yeah, so... I'm not sure how I feel about this one.
This game, of course, is available on the App Store and Google Play, and is available for $1.99.
I kind of suspected this would be a mobile platform game. It didn't really look like one. I'd sit on my PC and play.
Well, this is the out-of-pocket version, so that's the mobile version. Apparently, there might be, I think there's like a web-based one. So this is kind of like, I guess, a more simplified version.
I mean, also, it looks like something I would have played at Congregate a couple of years ago. That's just my
No, Ninrek is absolutely 100% correct. It's basically WarioWare.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's really what it is.
Wow, that brings back some memories.
Yeah, I know.
Goodness gracious.
Indeed it is. Craig says, this could have been my life if things had gone horribly wrong 20 years ago. And now you are an amazingly important pencil and paper RPG creator.
Let's see here. If things had gone horribly wrong for me 20 years ago, oh, man, I would have dropped out of...
Kindergarten.
Yes. I am 28 years old.
What? 20 years ago, 28. Nah, dude. Kindergarten's like 4 or 5 years old.
I don't know. I'm not in kindergarten. I don't keep track. If you don't have kids, you don't really keep track of the age of what they should be when they're in
Terrible, sir. Terrible.
school.
How old were you in first grade?
Well, going by your math, I'd be 5 years old.
6.
Yeah, like I said, I don't really keep track of these things.
Okay, moving.
I see kids at school, and they all look the same age to me.
Okay.
Until they hit high school.
I'm not even going to take that anywhere. We're just going to move on.
I'm not very observant.
Move on.
You know I'm not the most observant person ever.
God, yes. Anyways, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let us show you another game. Sorry. This one's called Spryke. Spryke, whatever.
Spryke.
Okay, so basically, here's the deal. This game is, if you are one of those humongous fans of games such as Super Meat Boy, or any of those other games in which it's incredibly hard to complete a level, but you feel that amazing, almost ecstasy level feeling of accomplishment upon completing a level or defeating a level, then this game's probably up your alley. You are going to be taking on the part of a fish that's half robotic and is looking for adventure. And that, my friends, is a game called Spryke. It is currently being Kickstarted and greenlit. So we're going to show you a trailer. It's about 3 minutes. It's going to give you an idea of the gameplay, and then we're going to hear from the actual creator to give you a better idea of what he's trying to accomplish.
It was a good trailer. You wouldn't even have to say anything. But we shall find out soon. Oh, it's cute. I'm digging the music. So it's one of these games. I agree.
Hi, I'm Dave Blair, the maker of Spryke. For the past 15 years, I've worked as a
Spryke.
designer, flash programmer, animator, illustrator, but about 3 years ago I set out to put all these skills together and make the most deeply crafted, immersive platformer I possibly could.
Spryke is an arcade platformer with a heart. It is the story of a deep-sea cyberfish who discovers the joys of dry land. Spryke's gameplay combines the twin playstyles of exploration and speedrunning. Explore the world to reach hard-to-find resources and discover a wealth of hidden secrets. Or focus on speed to perfect your runs and beat your time. The quicker you finish a level, the more of the precious spiralia you'll get.
I have a unique creative approach that's both quirky and very highly polished, and I know I'm capable of making a game that's not quite like anything else on the market. I've assembled a team of people whose skills complement my own skill set. Expert programmers, illustrators, sound designers, composers, to make sure that every aspect of Spryke is top-notch.
So I designed Spryke to be round and ball-shaped so that she'd be very agile in all directions. So she needed to be small, zippy, she needed to be able to cling to the ceiling, jump up onto the walls, cling to the walls.
The sound design elements that are in the game are going to be bringing the world to life. So, matched against the sort of gorgeous visuals, we want to have this rich sort of sonic landscape that's going to really help people feel like they're on that journey with that character in the game.
On top of that, we're sitting this wordless female vocals that weave in and out of the soundtrack throughout the whole thing. So we've got the organic and the mechanical fusing together to make the soundtrack come alive.
Squishy voice.
So my team and I have come far. We've made a vertical slice of Spryke that's a blast to play and looks and sounds fantastic. With your help, we can finish it, using the high quality we've shown as merely a baseline from which to improve upon. So if you like what you see, please help our campaign and let us make a game that you can fall in love with. Thank you.
Oops, wrong one. Come on, stop. There you go.
So okay. So first of all, it's not a roguelike platform.
I'm
First
just
of all,
being sarcastic.
Second of all, you're right, Ninrak. I feel like there are certain genres that just you get like it just gets beaten into the ground. Platformers, especially speed running platformers, is one of them.
There's a billion of them.
Point-click adventures was a hot topic for a bit. Now it's kind of settled down. Let's talk about match 3 RPGs. How about that?
What I will say about this, though, well, that and like just RPGs in general, especially in the mobile platform, where you have like, your army of 5 and you're battling against the other part. What does seem to separate this, though, from other platformers I've seen is the music. Because that music was like pretty damn awesome from what I heard. So as far as immersing you into there with the lyrics and the vocals that's going on in the background, maybe that could differentiate it some from some of the other platforms that have very generic platformer sounds versus this one, which was, I like the music.
Right. I mean, okay, yes. The thing is does this game immediately, upon watching this trailer, does it have some redeeming qualities, something that would set them apart? It looks very polished. Love the soundtrack. It definitely looks like there's some enjoyment, some frustration, and some elation upon completing certain things. Mm-hmm. But the question still remains, how different is it? How will it truly differentiate themselves from the rest? Because let's be honest, since Super Meat Boy basically stormed the court, everyone's been trying to make another Super Meat Boy, but with different characters. So what is going to make this game truly stand out on its own, or be able to stand on its own?
Because I agree, from the gameplay standpoint alone, it looked like every other platform. I mean, it didn't look like anything unique as far as the actual gameplay goes. I mean,
right.
You have a fish, you can control its velocity, how fast it goes. Oh my, there's spikes everywhere. Don't hit a spike.
Yep.
So as far as the mechanics go, as far as what the challenges are, you're right. I didn't really see a whole lot there that really differentiates it from anything else we've seen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. Ultimately, this game is on. It's currently trying to be kickstarted. It's currently on Steam Greenlight. So if this is up your alley, by all means, check it out a little bit further. Show it some love if you can. Support it either by giving it a thumbs up on Greenlight or pledging money towards the product. All right, we're going to take a little bit of time to do a couple shout-outs or just kind of, housekeeping that there. Okay, so November 4th is quickly approaching, and November 4th, of course, is Alter Confusion's 24-hour game-a-thon in the name of Extra Life. All donations that go to us through Extra Life will go straight to the Children's Healthcare Atlanta, which, of course, is something dear to my heart, and probably Zealeus as well.
I don't know if I ever went.
Well, I went there enough.
Well.
So basically, here's the deal. So come November 4th, we'll be playing for 24 hours straight. We've been running a donation drive, and I hope that if you have a little bit of money that you'll donate to this cause. If you feel like you don't want to donate to Alter Confusion, but you want to donate to someone else, by all means, do that. Any money donated to Extra Life gets distributed to that participant's hospital of choice. Ours, of course, is Children's Healthcare Atlanta. And then, of course, on the 4th, or it doesn't actually have to be the 4th, basically, the participant is going to try to achieve a 24-hour game-a-thon. Usually there's teams, so you could switch off, but I'm a masochist when it comes to that. So I play 24 hours straight. Yeah. Okay. So I play 24 hours straight, even though sometimes it gets really, really hard. And yes, I know there was one year where I accidentally fell asleep, and I had a buddy call me, and tell me, what the hell are you doing? You've been walking into the same wall for 15 minutes. But other than that, I've been wide awake.
I thought that was intentional.
No, it was not.
Okay.
Dishonored was the game, by the way. Okay, so let me read real quick here.
Why Kate thought it was on the 5th?
No, it should be the 4th. But Whacked Kid, as I stated before, you don't have to do it on the 4th. I'm pretty sure it's on the 4th. He's gonna double quick here.
Oh wait, I saw 5th. Go away.
Is it the 5th? 5th. It is the 5th. My bad. Why do I keep saying the 4th? I don't know. Whatever.
Whacked Kid, thank you
Anyways,
for correcting Charlie.
Anywho, it's that Saturday. Okay, maybe I'm thinking that I'm gonna end on the. No, I'm gonna start on the 4th. That's what it is.
Ah.
No, actually, technically, whatever. Anyways, you could preview that so people don't see you typing that stuff, right?
Nope.
Okay, well, that's great. Anyways, so
it's more fun if you see it happening live.
No, it's not. So there you go, gentlemen. Or ladies, gentlemen,
the audience, hermaphrodites, whatever's out there. Everybody, people of the universe.
Master travelers of the interwebs.
I mean, there could be a Time Lord here.
Anyways, so if you can, please donate to Extra Life. You could donate to anyone's Extra Life as long as you donate. All the proceeds go to the Children's Miracle Network. And if it's, if this is what floats your boat, it's also tax deductible, okay?
Yay!
Which I whatever. Anyways, okay,
and I should be there for a portion of it. But Charlie doesn't care, so that's okay.
Thank you, Wet Kid. It doesn't look good. All right. We're going to move on to the next shout-out here, and that, of course, is Patreon. Patreon is this wonderful website in which you, the audience, fans, can help show a little love for Alter Confusion. And by doing that, you can basically, it's a monthly cost, okay? And what we're looking for is, White Kid, I swear to God, dude. Hold on, what do you say?
He says you should be playing against each other during the Extra Life.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do it. Basically, okay, so Patreon is a way for individuals who love games. Love what we're doing to help give back to us. So basically, it's a patron program. You can become a patron of Alter Confusion. It's a monthly donation. You could set the donation. It's auto-recurring unless you only want to do like 1 month, and then, of course, you'll have to remember to cancel it. And all that money goes towards Alter Confusion. Now, there were some questions as to what goes where. So I basically did a breakdown of what the money would go to at the current moment for Alter Confusion. And I apologize if this list is a little long because I was trying to cover everything. So basically, here's the deal. The money, just in case you were wondering, would go towards getting a new backup hard drive, a new camera for doing recording of interviews at conventions as well as our panels, all that stuff. We do still have a camera. It just only has like a 20-minute battery, which used to be like 2.5 hours. We would love to be able to get someone in here who does actual web design, maybe give the web page a facelift, maybe a logo redesign. Now, of course, any of these things that we mentioned, if y'all want to actually just donate them or donate your time, then by all means, you don't have to donate the money if you are willing to basically do pro bono work, Let's see here. Marketing. We would love to be able to get what we have now, get it up to the next level, because I'm going to be totally honest with you. I can spout my stuff day in and day out, and I know that a lot of people are fascinated and are interested in what I give to everyone at conventions. However, I'm going to be honest with you, we don't have a good retention rate when it comes to that. If we did, we would have like a bajillion people. But it is kind of funny, though. Every single convention we go to, if there's people who've seen us before, they actively seek us out, which is kind of cool because in their minds, we're like celebrities. Unfortunately, it's just, just a couple of months.
Well, once a year, they know who we are.
Absolutely.
That means something to me, at least.
Right. Let's see here. So marketing, broadcasting equipment. We'd love to be able to like upgrade the fact that we've got a webcam rubber band onto a camera tripod.
Looks good to me.
Yeah, and maybe change the lightings and stuff like that. Of course, PC upgrades, more RAM, more CPU to be able to process all the videos and play the games and whatnot.
Broadcast equipment, I really want lapel mics.
Sure, lapel mics. And of course, convention cost, which is going to be, travel, hotel, gas,
food, beer, wine.
No.
Flask of bourbon.
That's on us. That's not Ultra Confusion. It's gonna be travel expenses, hotel expenses, fan table expenses. Some conventions you have to pay for a fan table. Some conventions you have to pay for electricity. Some conventions you have to pay for a badge, even if you're giving 2-hour-long panels. I'm not calling anyone out, but I'm just saying.
It may happen.
And then, of course, in the perfect world, what we'd love to do is if we had a little bit of money for Ultra Confusion, we'd love to do some more contests. I know that and I haven't mapped this out. First of all, I have not mapped this out completely, so it's not happening yet. But we're going to run a MomoCon contest again. I'm coming up with some ideas. Once I get it basically down pat, I'll send it out to people, and then you can try to get a free pass to MomoCon. Last year we gave out 3. I think 2 of them were used.
So, Wax Kid, don't buy your tickets yet, because you could.
No, I think he already did. I think he's actually trying to work the MomoCon as like staff or something. But anyways, if we had a little bit more to work with, we'd be able to do some more cool contests. Maybe even reach out to some of the, indie developers and maybe get some swag and stuff. Let's see here, keeping retention rate from convention
is really tough.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, it is very tough. Because
did you find that yourself, Nimrod? Because I know you had your video game that you were showing. Did you find yourself that, people see it they saw it at MomoCon, right? That's where it was? Am I thinking of the right convention where they had the indie showcase?
Yeah.
And then getting them like, okay, that was interesting at the indie showcase, but then afterwards, not as many people as maybe hoped to pick it up. Are you, running into that also?
Well, I mean, the thing is, when you're at a convention, as an attendee, you get really excited. You think, oh my gosh, so cool. But no offense to conventions, but you get inundated with so much awesome and crazy stuff that when you leave, if you really do the convention right, you should be beyond exhausted. And so your brain might completely shut down. And when your brain finally reboots, you may not recall everything that you did.
Mm-hmm.
So... Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the way it usually goes. But so, anyways, real quick, Ultra Confused. Since we're talking about conventions, Ultra Confused is going to be at Canuga. We're going to be at MomoCon. We're going to be at Big Fandom Greenville, which is actually happening this November. I feel like there's another convention. What am I missing?
Who knows?
We'll probably do Big Fandom Greenville again next year.
Big Fandom Greenville.
Andocon is on hiatus, so that's not there. I'm not doing Con Carolina again this year because doing 2 conventions back to back, the way that I do conventions, I literally could not believe I was still alive. I mean, I love Con Carolina. Don't get me wrong. That was a lot of fun. It was a totally different experience. It was a lot more, of a kind of like hangout convention. Had a lot of fun at the panels, all that stuff, but I can't do MomoCon and then do Con Carolina. MomoCon absolutely 100% drained me to death. Right. People did remember me at MomoCon 2016, but was not able to connect outside of MomoCon. That's the other thing. How do you connect? I mean, there's
Write their name in Sharpie.
No, I mean, that's
Visit my websites.
No, I mean that's you run into that. So, do I give you a card? Do I give you a button? Do I give you a lantern? Do I give you a T-shirt? How am I going to be able to press upon you a reason to remember me? So, anyways, so if you like what you're seeing from Ultra Confusion, perhaps you'd like to see us grow, thrive, evolve, whatever, please support us through Patreon, or if there's something that you personally can give to Ultra Confusion in any way, please reach out to us and we'll work it out. All right. I feel like there was one other thing. Is there not one other thing? Maybe there's not one other thing. Oh, yes. Let's do a shout out to the friends of Alter Confusion. Now, of course, let's start off with the podcast. There are two podcasts at the top of our list that we have to scream from the mountaintops every single time. That is two very nerdy, geeky podcasts. And what we're talking about is Nerdburger and Vitamin Geek. If you don't listen to either of them, what the hell's wrong with you? You need to. It's very interesting. So Nerdburger is more like the geeky kind of like weird. There's sometimes they do like weird news stories, but there's some geekiness there. Vitamin Geek's more along the lines of like horror geekdom, but both very well done, really good. I quite enjoy listening to both of them, and it's kind of funny because sometimes they bring on special guests who are absolutely out of their mind or screaming or whatever. So let's go on to the next thing, and that, of course, is Pencil and Paper RPGs. And this list, NerdburgerShow.com is where you can find out all the latest and greatest on the Nerdburger podcast. Now let's talk about Pencil and Paper RPGs. There's two that come straight to my mind. That, of course, is Pugmire by Eddie Webb, and then there is Murders and Acquisitions by the one and only Craig Campbell, who is currently chit-chatting in the chat room. You can find out more information by going to nerdburgergames.com to find out the latest on Murders and Acquisitions and his upcoming projects. I think the one that he's currently working on is Capers, which, of course, will be mind-blowing.
I want to say you were forgetting a third one because you said two, but there's three.
All right, Slick, go. I'm giving you
Capers
opening.
is the third. Pen and pencil.
Anywho. Actually, the third one would be, I can't even remember the dang name now.
Capers.
No, it's another pencil and paper RPG guy. I can't remember the name now. Okay, so let's go on to let's talk about indie games. You got to check out Snarf Quest. That, of course, is the culmination of Cell Block Studios and David Elmore coming together to make a game about a comic from the early 80s from Dungeon Magazine. And I'm sure of course, if we're going to go into the realm of indie games, there's so many. We've been so privileged to be able to interview a lot of those developers out there. And if you can find a way to learn about the indie games that are out there, I promise you're going to find some amazing games that maybe not everyone knows about, but are going to blow the socks off of a lot of the AAA titles out there. The pencil and paper game that I forgot is called The Dig.
Have you played it?
I have not, but I did. So here's the weird thing, and I did an interview with the gentleman behind this. His name is Derek. He created a pencil and paper RPG called The Dig. He also created a book called Home. Mm-hmm. And so basically, Home and Dig are set in the same universe. However, Dig is based off of what Home has. However, Home is based off of what Dig has. So it's this weird-ass like symbiotic relationship where it doesn't matter how you look at it. You really need to witness both or experience both to truly, understand
truly
everything.
Experience the greatest of both worlds.
Now, I'm going to be totally honest with you. The book's not perfect. There is a couple slow parts, weird little things in there, but it's a good book. But also, speaking of books, let's talk about Louis Pasteur III, the gentleman behind the Saga of Uckamog, which is a very unique series that once I started reading, I could not put it down. And, of course, he has thrown out a novella out there, which once I talked to him and found out exactly where that novella fell, I'm like, holy shit balls. Now I'm really excited to see what the next book is. And, of course, he's still working on it. So I'm kind of just, like, twiddling my thumbs for now.
Any idea on the release date?
Not at all.
Nope. Okay.
So, but anyways, there is so many amazing projects out there, okay? If you know someone who's trying to create an indie project, support them. If you are trying to create an indie project, find a group of like-minded individuals. Atlanta kind of has this fun little advantage. You've got two organizations that are very open to like digital projects. You've got the Georgia Game Developers Association, GGDA, and you also have the IGDA, International Game Developers Association, Atlanta chapter. If you have a prototype, bring it to one of those, and I promise you, a ton of those people who are attending whatever session they do, because there's usually a meeting a month, you bring your prototype to that, you're going to have a ton of people play it. They're going to give you critical feedback. It's going to be able to enhance your game. You're also going to be able to see maybe get some suggestions. Find how to strengthen what you have. And of course, if you're board game person or pencil and paper RPG, there's meetup groups for that. If you're an author, there's definitely meetup groups for that. I mean, you got to put yourself out there.
Again, that external opinions always help. It can only help but improve your game or whatever your project is by having people outside your little sphere of awesomeness, however great it is, to be able to give you that third-party perspective, because ultimately that's what your game is going to be judged by.
Right.
Is the third party, not your immediate circle of friends.
So if you are a creator of an independent project and you want maybe some, if you want to talk about maybe some processes of where you want to go with it or ask where you should go with it, you could just hit us up. We gave a panel for an entire year called "You Finished Making Your Indie Project and You Think You're Done." Now, I'm not going to be able to point you at the right people, the specific right people. However, I could definitely help you, maybe point you in the right direction, give you some advice.
Charlie knows people.
I know some people
and thoughts.
Yeah, so hit us up. Actually, hell, hit us up with anything. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, or criticisms for us about any of the topics we cover, about perhaps any of the things we that we need to talk about, you go to our website www.alterconfusion.com. You hit the contact us button. It goes straight to me, and we could chat. You can also hit us up on Facebook, which is Alter Confusion. Like us there. Twitter, follow us on Alter Confusio. It's Alter Confusion without the N because
the N will blow up the internet as we know it.
And, of course, if you're watching this live, then you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel over Alter Confusion LLC. And if you're watching the recording, which, of course, is on YouTube, then you need to know that we broadcast every single Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on twitch.tv/alterconfusion. I also do 2 streamings.
You didn't say the time.
I said 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
You didn't say the Central Time.
I'm not giving Central Time.
7 o'clock Central Time.
Oh, for the love of God.
Nice.
And then I also do 2 streaming sessions, one on Tuesday and one on Sunday, and those start from 8 and go to potentially 11 p.m.
Very nice.
Speaking of which, real quick, a special thanks to Battle and Brew for hosting Alter Confusion's live stream of this past Tuesday. We were on every single TV in Battle and Brew, or I was on every single TV on Battle and Brew.
Look at that mugshot.
Basically playing games from 8 p.m. until a little bit after 11. And what I was able to do was I played a ton of games, and I found it very interesting because I had a mole. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I had someone planted at the bar to basically gauge the crowd. And the interesting thing was, as long as there was action, you drew the eye. However, if you had something that had action, but people weren't able to quickly recognize it, you truly pulled the person in because, like, holy crap, what is this? I need to know more.
Interesting.
And so that's why I played a good chunk of Axiom Verge, which is basically Metroid.
Yep.
I also played
I saw you playing a card
Hand
game
of
at one
Fate.
time.
Hands of Fate.
Were people interested in that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, you didn't know what was going to happen next. And thankfully, okay, so there was definitely a couple of bumps in the road. And I was kind of having a panic attack at the beginning, but I have to say that at the end of the day,
Went well.
it went well. Now, of course, we do have one more friend that we need to talk about real quick, and that, of course, is one of our biggest supporters. That is Whack Kid 47 and Whack Kid 47 Network. He is a gentleman who talks about anime, and he is also a photographer for anime, and he's also a staff member for a lot of anime things.
Staff member?
He's a guy that you definitely need to check out if you want to learn about, if you want to check in on some anime and some cosplay and all that stuff. Definitely check out all of his stuff. Let's see here real quick. Ninrak said
I didn't even hear
Charlie
about
would
that.
probably just throw me at Blaine.
Yes.
I need to get better remembering when those meetings are. Okay, so Blaine only does IGDA Atlanta because that's what he's part of. If you want to do GGDA, that's Andrew, just for clarification. And I didn't even hear about that, but was probably so crass. Okay, Siege was apparently crazy. Okay. All right, so let's move on to the main topic here as we're running a little bit out of town. And so we're going to go. So what we're going to talk about is this amazing game with such potential.
Is it really amazing?
It is called Star
Choir of
Citizen.
Angels, amazing.
Star Citizen, ladies and gentlemen, is a game that it was going to be the MMO to end all MMOs. It's going to be endless lands, alien languages, several bajillion planets to explore, highly difficult, complex RPG system. You'll be able to do
Everything.
Space skirmishes. You could do single-player missions. All this and more in Star Citizen.
Where do I sign up, good sir? Because I am sold.
At this point, I will not tell you where to sign up.
But what you just described is the end-all, be-all of every video game ever made. Surely this is like the unicorn of video games.
It's basically the white whale of all video games. It's something that you can only imagine but never actually catch.
But you made it sound like it's going to actually happen.
It will.
Don't tell me my dreams are going to be shattered, because I
Look.
gave a lot of money to it.
Okay, well, I hope you didn't. Okay, so here's the thing. Star Citizen, for those of you who apparently maybe have been living under a rock, this is basically the biggest money pit I have ever seen in my life. Once upon a time was on Kickstarter, but it ended its Kickstarter thing because it's like, holy crap, we could probably continue to make money outside the Kickstarter
We made
thing.
so much money.
So basically what they did is they canceled their Kickstarter project and basically asked all the people who Kickstarted to come over to their special website and donate via PayPal to their fund. I believe the last time I checked, it was over $80 million. For that, you have a fancy hangar that you get to see your ship in. You're not allowed to actually get in your ship. I think at one point there was like a super like halfway alpha, halfway beta like skirmish mode that was there for half a second, and now is gone. There are individuals who have somehow or for some reason they've paid $1,000 upon $1,000 for fictional ships. Oh, we're now at $128 million.
Great googly moogly.
Now, the funny thing is, for those of you who don't know, there are a good number of people who have actually started asking for their money back because they feel like that nothing is happening.
Just to kind of throw this out here.
Yeah, go for it.
So I'm just looking on the Star Citizen, and according to their funding goals, supposedly, I'm like, is this accurate? This week alone, Star Citizen has crowdfunded $2 million. Like, on Thursday, the 8th, whatever day of the week that is, they supposedly raised $1.5 million alone in one day. I mean, what?
Exactly. Craig, absolutely. How do I get this kind of cash? Okay, so the thing is, this
is really pretty interface.
I know it's a very pretty interface, but that's basically where all the money went. It's right there. It's the interface to tell you how the crowdfunding is going. That's where all the money went. Let's see here. Nimrek said, sadly though, $80 million isn't a whole lot for. Well, actually, as we were corrected, it was $120 million. They have all these different pods that are doing different things, and now all those studios are actually closing because they can't actually fund it because apparently no one has any idea about finances and how to actually budget the game.
So, random factoid.
Yes, sir.
So, I'm looking at their stretch goals, right?
Yep.
Their last stretch goal, they have a lot of stretch goals.
Yep.
Their last one was published, according to this, let's see here, November 26th of 2014 at $65 million.
Yep.
So they've nearly doubled their last stretch goal.
Yep.
People have still donated $60 million.
Well, so here's
the last stretch goal.
Here's the misleading thing. Okay, I'm going to tell you this right now. A lot of the people aren't actually donating to the general fund. What they're doing is they're paying for like a decommissioned warship, which they've never seen. They've only getting by description, and you actually are paying $10,000, like real money, not like like in-game currency. I'm talking about. You take all your money out of your actual bank account where your actual paycheck goes, and you basically piss it down a drain into a digital hellhole.
I do find it kind of amusing that their very first stretch goal for $2 million was regular community updates. As in, like, if we didn't raise enough money, we weren't going to tell the community shit.
Right.
I just find that amusing.
Well, I mean, okay, so basically, here's the deal. So, there was this single player campaign mode that everyone's like, okay, this is coming out, right? The developers behind Star Citizens have just come out and said, you know what? We have to delay that indefinitely.
That's Pledge 40 or Squadron 42.
Yeah, Squadron 42 has now been
That's a nice looking
been
trailer.
delayed indefinitely.
Oh wait, you can still pledge to it.
Absolutely, you can still pledge to it. You keep doing whatever you want to do. But let's be honest. At this point,
So to indefinitely suspended game,
yes,
you can pledge
No.
to it.
it's suspended indefinitely portion of the game.
Which is Squadron 42.
Right.
You can still purchase the $45 portion of it or the Squadron 42 portion of it for $45.
Okay, so Ninrek, it basically says, I'm willing to bet this launch will be like No Man's Sky all over again. That may happen if they actually were to actually release this. This game has been in production since 2012, okay? So we're now 4 years into this massive project, and there's nothing to show anyone. Like I said, the most polished piece is a ship hangar. That's a first-person view where you can basically walk around your hangar and see the different ships in there. You can't actually interact with them, but you could see the pretty models, and that's it. That is it.
It seems like the problem of Star Citizen, it seems like they tried to do everything a little bit instead of doing a little bit really well.
Well, okay, so here's the thing.
That's kind of what my impression.
This is kind of like, in my opinion, this is basically like Double Fine Adventures on steroids, okay? Double Fine Adventures, the original goal was $400,000, okay? They went to, I think it was like 3.8 million. No, 1.38 million. Or was it 3.8? Whatever.
I remember.
They shot way by it. And so they started adding all these new features and whatever. And of course, as a result, because they didn't actually budget it out, they ran out of money before they actually able to create an alpha. So to make up for lost time, what they did is they made it an episodic game. They basically cut it into two. For those out there who kickstarted the game, you got the whole game. For those of you who didn't, you could get the early access on Steam for the first half, and then you would have to pay for the second half to basically make up for money, which is why I'm always hesitant about early access, because to me that means we've run out of money. Please pay us so we can possibly, potentially, maybe someday release the actual game if we get enough money. But this is like this is Double Fine Adventure on steroids, okay? It's like, we need to have alien languages, and we need to have at least 20,000 planets, and we need to have a single-player mode and a multiplayer mode and a what do you call it? An ever-evolving world,
Yes.
and every single planet's got to have procedurally generated, constantly changing the planets, the space, all that stuff. We need to have character designs, like 2,000 different ships. I mean, they're shooting for the stars. The unfortunate thing is they really missed, and they continue to miss. And stop.
Sorry.
Stop.
I'm distracted by the website.
It-
It's so pretty.
It is a very pretty website, okay?
It's pretty.
They basically spent all their money on the website. But this is... So, question to you.
I'll design a website for you for
All right,
$80 million.
Question to Zealeus and the audience. What would it take... If there was a project that you were basically financing or donating to, how long would it take for you to actually say, F this, I want my money back? Or would you want your money back? Or how much of that project would have to be viable for you to actually go, okay, I'm cool?
Well, as far as this goes, it depends on what I did. If I'm basically if I was one of the donators and giving money to the game, then for me it's kind of like, well, if I donated money to it, it's my fault because I donated money to it, so I don't really have any actual expectation of what I'm going to get back. Versus, like, take for instance, like, I had the subscription. The Centurion subscription model does your stuff, $10 a month. well, you don't really get anything. You just might get something. So for that, I'm like, whatever. Versus the ship model, you could buy it for $275. If you don't get anything for that, even though you bought that damn ship for $275,
that's a cheap ship.
But still, that I'd be a little bit more ticked off about if I bought it for $275.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it also kind of goes in layers of expectations. So if I purchase, say, like, the top order of expectation is pre-order. If I pre-order a game for $60, I expect to get that game for $60. Versus the next level down for me is kind of like a early access. If I early access, usually it's around $20-$30. It may or may not work, but okay. I know it's early access because it's clearly labeled on Steam. They tell you it's early access, so at least I know what I'm getting myself into. It was playable. It was terrible player experience, but it is what it is. Versus something like Star Citizen, which is just a giant, black hole of pit of money. Yeah, you're probably not getting much out of it. That's just the reality at this point. But it's also different. Like I said, it's a little bit different if you're doing the subscription model or you're just donating, like, hey, take $10 of my money, even though I get nothing in return. Versus, I want that ship for $275. What if I don't see that ship? What happens then?
But you do. It's in your hangar. You just can't interact with it. You can't drive. You can't utilize it. It just sits there.
In the end, it's a game, and if you purchase that, you're kind of doing it at a little bit of a promise, but at the same time, it's kind of like if you give money to a game and you get it in some form or fashion, even in your hangar, guess what? You're still getting your ship. It may not have been fully what you expected or what you wanted for, but you're still getting it. Obviously, you won't be very happy with their purchase, but guess what? They still got your money.
Right. So I mean, this kind of goes back to No Man's Skies, and that is that in a way, I mean, they are. See, here's the problem. No Man's Sky has actually created a game, and I mean that game was actually released. It's not the game that people thought was going to be released, but there was a game with the name No Man's Sky that's available for purchase. So people can actually, basically break down all the little nuances of this isn't what you promised us. However, with Star Citizen, since they keep delaying everything and they won't let you touch anything, how are you to say what is and isn't there because they've continued stringing you along going, oh yeah, we just had to delay it, but it's coming. See, that's my problem. And that's basically what my issue with early access is. When you put something in early access, yes, I understand. You're basically making the consumer pay you to test for you. And also, it's an interest gauge. If you get enough people who to buy into the early access thing, then you understand you've got a hit. If you don't get a lot of people who buy into early access, chances are you're probably not going to finish that game, and you'll probably give some kind of like tchotchke gift to all those people who actually supported you, whatever, or just give you the game. Chances are you're going to get the early access people are going to get the game as is as the project goes.
Well, the other really important thing I found with Steam with early access, read the reviews. Not just the positive reviews, but the negative reviews, where you can kind of get a gauge of, is this game actually being updated or what's going on? So that's the other really important thing I found with early access is make sure you look at the reviews. And yeah, you kind of have to ignore the positive reviews because those are probably their friends of a friend. I found more value in those negative reviews to see, are those negative reviews because it didn't work on my PC because I don't know how to install games, or it's because the game actually has not been updated in 6 months.
Right, absolutely. That's definitely something you have to take into consideration. But once again, if you go back to the Star Citizen thing, where you have no idea, you basically are just continue going, oh, they need a little bit. If I just keep hanging on, I'll be able to get to play this amazing game. I just have to wait. This is here. A lot of people are going, oh, this is Duke Nukem Forever all over again. The thing with Duke Nukem Forever was the game was kind of completed every single iteration. However, the developer behind it goes, you know what? There's a new technology for the graphics engine. We need to rebuild this whole thing. So there was something. There was an actual product that they just kept saying, F it, we're going to redo it. With Star Citizen, I don't even know if they're even close to that. They're not trying to reinvent anything. I don't know what the fuck they have.
They're trying to reinvent gaming as we know it.
Oh dear God! Look, at the end of the day, if you've pledged, supported Star Citizen, I hope for the love of God you actually get some sort of game in the end. If not, I hope that you find a way to regain your losses. And for those individuals who keep blindly paying more and more and more, thinking that your additional donation is going to be the one that gets the game over the hump, please stop. Please, for the love of God, stop. You don't need to do. If you're willing to throw money like that away, then donate it or give it to a good cause, like Extra Life, or support Ultra Confusion. That works too. Look, Ultra Confusion can promise you we're going to make a product. We're giving it to you every single Thursday and Tuesday and Sunday, and then reviews and articles. You're seeing random videos pop up everywhere. That's product. Star Citizen, you get a thank you letter. That's not product.
It means something to me.
Whatever, dude. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have unfortunately gone over our time. Did we actually cover all the stories?
Yes.
Awesome.
We really did.
Awesome. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning into the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. As always, we do greatly enjoy having you as audience members, and of course, tell all your friends. We want everyone and anyone to join us in our conversations to add their voices.
What if I don't have any friends?
Now, the internet is full of individuals.
My cat doesn't count in this case, unfortunately.
Just put your cat on webcam, and you can broadcast it on the side. There you go.
Oh, wait.
No.
Yep, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
This is happening.
All right,
Rose is going to be broadcasted live on the podcast.
From your house. Anyways, so here's the deal. Now you derailed me, you jerk. What the hell was I talking about?
You were doing the EXO.
Oh, yeah. So thank you for tuning into the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. We do this every single Thursday. Tell all your friends. We want as many people in the conversation as possible so we can give you the greatest and best. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, subjects, topics, whatever that you would like added to one of our next shows, or perhaps you have towards any aspect of Ultra Confusion, just hit us up through any of our social media stuff. It goes straight to me, and I am pretty good at responding really, really quickly. So thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week, which, of course, will be Thursday the 20th.
At 8 o'clock Central Time.
No, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Central Time, 6 o'clock Mountain Time, 5 o'clock Pacific Time.
You finally got it right.
Whatever, dude.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Aim into that, brother.